So I have to say most of the stuff here is from LA. It's a sort of Tina Turner shimmy shimmy. And if you've seen that dress in Roberta Cavalli at the moment, that's just hues of kind of colours. I mean, it's just absolutely divine. Prince, there's there's an amazing place upstate New York, and it's actually in an old factory. It's surrounded by countryside and everything, where they have 5 million pieces of vintage fabrics. It is just incredible, and it's categorised by flowers or stripes or whatever going through everything. It's just unbelievable. Can
you buy all?
Yeah. Some pieces they say no, you can rent. I said I don't rent. I don't want anybody. So I sort of stay there for hours persuading them. You get it in the end. And things like this, it's just gorgeous 20s. You know, like these dresses are nearly 100 years old now. And I was told, and I meet the most amazing people because they're just obsessed with what they do. They're not even into fashion. They haven't got a clue what's going on. They just collect 20s or they collect 30s or whatever. And they used to make the sequins out of a form of jelly before, so they could never get wet, and it was like sliced. It was just, so you have a kind of education. This is one of them off the lady. I'll show you that black and cream one. So anyway, so that's the kind of feel. And then, sorry, I'm just going to put this behind you. Then, and this is not to say it's going to look like, but I always have to test it out. Does it work summer? Does it work winter? Because if you say festival, you kind of get that in your headspace with how it's going to look. But when you say winter, because there's no festivals in winter, what does that mean? So it's just kind of keeping in. I just have to have Malibu, sorry, I'm just obsessed by that. Great kind of 80s caftan. This, I think, is Pierre Cardin or something I've just found, which is wonderful. And I always love a bit of snakeskin. So, and I love the fact that it's like a structured, sensible bag. I got a couple of alligator bags, green for myself, that just come off an estate, and they were just, I mean, these women just had so much. Every piece is still immaculate. It's just incredible. Victoriana, which this piece is particularly, well, I have to do that too. Look, just on the back. And these things, you can, when you buy them, you can actually still wear them. It's because they're so tiny, but it stops there, and you can wear them as jackets. If you know what I mean. They look great with jeans colour. So if I can do some things like that, that would be fab. I still love in the old 80s butterfly, and I'll show you one in this one. So what I love that I got in LA.
Wow.
At Melrose. He was a real find. And that one, this one, although it's plain, I can do this one next year. That's the one that's going out and that Hayley's taken to. But again, what's wonderful about it, she'll probably just wear cut downs, kind of jeans and stuff like that. Sorry. Totally reinvented. Vintage. You've always got to have a bit of Margot in there somewhere, can't not. Overdyed, that lovely lady at Portobello, you know, the tiny Indian one, overdyed Indian, bonkers 80, and those traditional pieces, lovely 70s belt. And things like this one is designed by weight of beads, so when it hangs in a certain way, so it goes like that and then goes down into a point. And that's another 20s one. It's an 80s scarf, and this is another 20s one. This is glass. I keep crushing it to show people. I thought, I shouldn't really do that. It's a cape.
Glass.
But what we term as sequins and beads was actually, this one was made of glass and then silver coated.
Oh
and
God, that's
there's a lovely lady who made this in San Francisco, and trust me, these people just think, how do they know to do that? She's just gorgeous. She's got like red hair, manicured. She's not a fashion person at all. She just can't bear to see anything go to waste. So where this might have decayed, but she can save the trim, she'll put like 8 pieces and then make up this lovely top. And the house she moved into in San Francisco, when the woman knew what she did, she said, oh, I got a box upstairs you might want just to play around with. And it was a chest full of 20s things off the woman. I had it before, and she just gave. She said, sure you want to. And that was one of the pieces. Yeah. And then, sorry, guys. Another one, which was. So basically, the vintage premium collection allows us to do things that we know girls will love. But Delhi is more production, so they all, you know, that's where everybody goes to get all their trims and so you can see Matthew Williamson everywhere. Not him, but where the inspiration comes from. You see, you know, everybody from Dries to Prada, all the main embroidery in the world is made there. and it's actually guys that do the embroidery, and a lot of that is done in northern India as well. So yeah, it's a real craft. This is like 1915, and when you put it on, it actually sticks out that way because there's loops. So to hold it out like that. But again, if I'm not going to do that shape, but the colour. Great kimono shop in Tokyo, underground by La Foray. And again, this is the Indian place. So that is another example. So someone's gone to China and made the little thing that goes under the sari, which is gorgeous. That dress upstairs was taken off that one, and when I bought that, there's no marks on it. It was the daughter. Obviously, it was the daughters and father at Pasadena. She was still arguing not to. So if you want money, if you want to collect the money, you've got to let the dress go and stuff. So I gave her a bit more for it to make it worthwhile. But that was like $60 or something, and it's on Magnum as well.
How old was she when you were talking to her?
She was about 16 or 17, but he was obviously grooming her up rather than just give her the money. She had to sort of sell some of it off to get. I was kind of caught up between this domestic thing. So I thought, oh, take $70. Yeah. That's what's quite nice with those things, because there's nothing to do with fashion at all. Which one is this? I'm sure. This one's a hat handmade. No. This one's Pierre Balmain, Paris, which is lovely. That I'm using the spring colours as well. And then things like this. There's this lady called Francine, husband and wife team, that bonkers. That again reinvent, over dye, makeup, and when you go to their house outside of Paris, there is clothes in every single room. Every single room. You go in the conservatory to have a cup of tea, all the clothes are hanging up. She's so immaculate. She has ironing boards everywhere, and she won't let it go until it's absolutely. You go in the garage, because I've always done vintage.
Yeah.
But as you move around and walk around, you talk to these people, and then one thing leads to the. It is nothing to do. It's completely different from, the fashion world is so secretive. Yeah. And so, whereas when I used to be in designer, we all used to talk to each other. So I bought for Jones and Then, which was a boutique like Joseph and Brown's, and then we went to Harvey Nichols, and you'd all talk to each other. But in this business, you don't. But these guys, they don't obviously give each other's resources away. But she only does this. So if it's not on trend, they probably only work with the film business or with whatever. So they don't change because we're into anything else. That's what they do. So she was at Hammersmith, Selfridge, the vintage there, and you talk to her. And then she said, I have a shop in Port de Clignancourt. And then when you start buying seriously, she said, if you're in Paris, come a day early and come to my house. So you think, yeah, just in Paris. And then like 4 hours later on the train, like, where am I? In some. But then you get there and it's really kind of well. Like that's reinvented. That's another lady at sensational. But to say, once you start, that's the collection, which is gorgeous. And again, colours. The other thing is you see colours you've never seen. I know that sounds bizarre, but because they were natural dyes, which you can't use now, and also because of the estates some of them come from, they might have only been worn once because they were for a special occasion, and then they're packed away. They're not. So on our mood boards once, we had these Victorian things in pink within 3 days, because I've got all these books with. You just see, there should be a couple in design. The ones I mean, Leanne, the big Waterton books, vintage things. It changed colour because it was exposed, which also makes you realise what's in the air. And that one. Those colours are amazing. Well. So we're doing a version of that one. And then rare, when you get yellow 80s, it's great, which is fab. So that jumps forward 60 years. And that's the one we did this year in beige. And I love a pom-pom dress, I can't. Just cute still. Black Zandra Rose as well. And you very rarely find things in big sizes, they're always tiny. Somebody wanted to borrow that for a Halloween party. Got huge. This is some of it, but there's 1,000 pieces out the back.